My name's Cole Van Woert. I'm the lead guitar player in the band Hourhand. We also consist of Dawson Dressler on the drums and Gray Farrow on lead vocals and bass. Gray and I, we started when we were kids, like 15, maybe 14 even. We got together and we started doing covers in this rock band program. And Gray and I, we gelled together very well. Like, I mean, anytime the band screwed up, I would just look over at Gray. I would just see what his hands were doing and I would just copy that. And so I learned to follow him very quickly, very early on. And then he was also in a jazz band, a school jazz band with Dawson. And he mentioned that he knew this crazy drummer through school. And eventually we found a time that worked. We got together and we started jamming a little bit. And yeah, the first song we ever covered was YYZ by Rush. That was like the first few practices, rehearsals together. And then, so yeah, then we were looking for a vocalist for about like 6 months or so. Still under the name The Lonely Oranges. That was our first band name. And we went through one guy, we did one performance with him as The Lonely Oranges. I'm sure that's on YouTube somewhere. It was like the Winston Knoll Jazz Night, I think. Yeah, we played YYZ by Rush at a Winston Knoll Jazz Night. The audience was pretty weirded out. But then, yeah, so he just didn't work with us, that vocalist. So then after a few months, Gray kind of discovered that he could sing like a bird. He started singing in the band and we started writing a few originals, doing more covers. We played our first show maybe 2015, 2016. I think it was 2016. We played our first show actually in Saskatchewan. And then it was mostly covers. We had one original in there that we don't speak about. It wasn't a great original. But yeah, so there on out, we were the Hourhand. We picked up the white pants to kind of stand out. And yeah, here we are. We've just been touring around the province only, just Regina and Saskatoon, and writing originals and taking up any opportunity that comes up to us. Where the band is right now, this is entirely in my opinion, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly shared with the other two guys. We're evolving from, like, we're maturing. I would say that would be like the definitive answer is we are maturing a lot, and you can hear that in our songwriting. You can hear that in the way we take opportunities as they're presented to us. We think about things before we do them. We're not just going to jump at something. We're going to see how it benefits us in multiple different ways. And yeah, like we're starting to realize that the music business is only like 20% music, 80% business. And we're starting to treat it like that. And yeah, like the music's getting better. I know that. We're all becoming more confident. We're all moving on from our old songs and the old writing processes and starting this new reamped version of the Hourhand. And yeah, like we want to do it before we move out of Saskatchewan. We're going to start taking our music outside of the province, hopefully across Canada once everything opens up, obviously, and hopefully they get like the best version that we can be of the Hourhand.
When your heart gets lonely and your bed feels empty in the night, honey, you got everything I'd ever need, but you're leaving me. Tell me if I understand what you say to me. When you feel that sorrow
song Everything, yeah, that one means a lot to me. I can say that for sure. That one for me is written around falling out of love. Yeah, no, it's a very heartfelt song. A lot of the lyrics I put into that one really reflect experiences that I've had in my life. And the hook that Gray put in, like the chorus, is when I heard that, like the lyrics kind of just, I started just writing them in my notes and everything. And it's just, I don't know, that song worked out so much. And I feel like I put a lot of emotion in the solo, because that's kind of like my part to express my emotions. And that's probably my favorite song that we've written. And that's really a song that I would be proud to show people. For me, I would say success is being passionate about what you do and like chasing happiness. And for me, that's what this music does. It's all I've ever really wanted to do. And if I'm not doing this with, you know, like if I'm not doing this, I don't really care what else I'm doing, if that makes sense. Like success with the Hourhand in particular, I would say would be at least making a decent living off of performing. Again, that's just me. I think performance is the key to making a living and being successful. So once the world opens up, we can pursue that a little bit. I would say our music is inspired by a few different things. And there's no definitive answer to this because it can come from anything. And I think putting a rule on songwriting it's not a good way to look at it. It can come from anything from, you know, a life experience or a story that you heard or a book that you read, or, you know, you might, like, for instance, we've, as a band, we can take a phrase, like a 2-word phrase, and the entire song can just surround the vibe of that 2-word phrase, if that makes sense. Yeah, like our songwriting, yeah, it's just kind of whatever we're feeling in the moment is what you hear in the songs. There's a few different ways songs end up. I always see it as one of two ways. The song either, you know, we come in with a riff, whether it's Gray or I, we produce the riff, and then we bring that to the band jams on it, a vocal melody is brought up, and then we start filling in the blanks with words or already like conjured ideas that we have written down or something. Those songs usually come up and are finished within like a few rehearsals, or the song will fight us for months. There's no in between. It's either it comes out in like a few practices, like 2 or 3, or we're working on it, redoing it over and over for months and months. I think our community here in Saskatchewan, Regina, Saskatoon, the surrounding area and stuff, I think we're a diehard community. You know, you see it with the Riders, you see it with the Pats, and we feel that like everything we've ever done as a group, like as the Hourhand, has been achieved solely in Saskatchewan. Saskatoon, Regina, that's all we've ever played. Like, you know, Moose Jaw and, you know, a few places in between, but just in these 2 major areas. And the love we feel anytime we go to Saskatoon, like the shows are fantastic, the venues are amazing. Back here in Regina, you know, the Exchange, the Revival, we cut our teeth at Cloud 9. I'm sure it's safe to say for all 3 of us, like we absolutely love this community, and without them, like our, you know, pursuing this career would be so much harder if it weren't for our community. 2 best pieces of advice I've ever been given. One was from my dad, and the other one was from Todd Kearns when I met him like the first or second time. My dad always says, do what you love and money will follow. And I will run with that till the day I drop. And yeah, that's why we're pursuing the band. And then what Todd Kearns said to me was, if you want success, don't be an asshole. And time and time again, that seems to prove itself. So yeah, those are the two best pieces of advice I've ever been given. A piece of advice I would want to give to someone starting off or wanting to join the music industry or the community, I would say go to shows. Go to shows and surround yourself with people that have similar interests, and you'll find success. I wrote this one line. I'm trying to remember it. It was, if you want, surround yourself by the presence of kings, and you'll have a crown for yourself. So if you surround yourself by people with similar interests, you'll find that success, and you'll be able to find your way. Does that make sense? Yeah.
She's got me like the morning sun when she gets home. She burns your face, warms your soul. I sell my soul just to hear that song again. 'Cause lately it goes on and on and on. She don't come. She doesn't seem that way to me. There's only one place you should be, and that ain't here. Get moving on and on and on. Yeah, I'm gonna like the setting sun.
So the song Setting Sun, that one started off with a riff that I wrote on slide guitar. I always wanted to put in like a bluesy, kind of like old-timey, finger-picking type of song. And like I just wanted it to be straightforward, and so did the guys. Like we kind of came up with this idea that we wanted Setting Sun. We originally called it Old Bluesy Riff Song. That's what's on the demo. And that guy started off aiming, like we aimed for that one to be around like the story of an old blues player, you know, like Delta blues, hopping on a train, traveling cross country to bring his music, because all the music that we play has been rooted in the blues, and I feel it's a good idea to kind of show that and acknowledge where the roots came from. So yeah, that was the whole goal with that song, was to bring it back, kind of give it an old bluesy vibe. And I'm not a slide player by any means. You could probably tell that by watching the videos or hearing the song. But it all started, there was this competition where if you play, you know, you just record yourself playing slide guitar, and they might send you a slide. I essentially picked up a slide and started playing a little bit, came up with that riff, and sent it to the guys. That was like the first thing that came up. And yeah, we jammed on it next practice, and then the song kind of just formed within a few days. And both these songs, like Everything and Setting Sun, are one of the, like those two songs where they just came out in like 2 practices. They just flowed right out of us. We were happy with them. They had the right energy, and we just love them. My absolute favorite part, without a doubt, is performing. I feel like I'm, you know, like we all take on our different roles in the band, and I like to think that I take on the like the passion for performance. Like I love performing. Like Gray and Dawson can answer however they want, you know, for what they're passionate about. And yeah, but for me it's performance. Absolutely. I love the way it works, because it's a show. You don't come just to listen to the music, because if you come just to listen to the music, you might as well listen to the album at home. If you put on a show and you actually kind of choreograph it to a certain extent, obviously it's got to be natural and it can't just be all choppy and canned, but I think that's where you make the money, you know? Musicians are just glorified t-shirt salesmen. So that's where you get people to buy your stuff. That's the fun part, is putting on the show, entertaining them, and selling your music, selling your shirts, selling your products, and meeting people, taking pictures. I love the social aspect of it. Yeah. I absolutely love how like capable Dawson is as a musician. Anytime there's something that needs explaining or something, like he'll sit down, he'll figure it out, and he'll be able to explain it to us. It's funny when we're like hanging out on our own time, like in between demos or songwriting and stuff, and he can just educate us on anything. And as a guy that's not, personally like me, I'm not the smartest guy at all, but I always like learning about things, you know, like the sexy parts of science is what I like. And he's always able to explain that type of stuff. Thing I love about Gray, the dude is an animal when it comes to songwriting. Like he will just find something, he'll pursue it, and if he doesn't like it, it's not good enough, and we're not gonna do anything. Can get annoying sometimes, but I mean it's all in the process of making a better product. And you know, I feel like the whole chemistry between us 3 is really balanced, where one of us lacks, the other 2 make up for it. And you know, I think as this being like the first real band that all 3 of us have ever been in, you know, since we were like 15 or whatever, I think we lucked out for sure. Like, because I'm in a band with 2 amazing dudes, and I hope to continue playing with them for years and years, and hopefully, you know, other people like our stuff too. So